Well, Mr. Nelson, the fun thing is Drew Arnold screwed up, Joel, and we are just closing the door. So we've got a little interference in the background, so I apologize about it.
No problem.
But the good thing is you're here. Mr. Corey Brock's here. So we're going to have a great session and learn some new trips of the trade from you, the expert on Markham. And I think we might even let a guy named John Marshall join us. John Marshall might be one of those experts in the field from Versa Electronics, which is manufacturer of Markham units out of the beautiful Minneapolis area. So I think from there, I think let's give us a 1-2 punch of what we're going to cover this evening, and then go from there.
Yeah, that sounds great, guys. You know, I had a bunch of things that I wanted to cover. If you guys have any questions at any time, you know, Drew back at the shop, feel free to ask. But, you know, first and foremost, I really wanted to cover some of the new items for Markham. And, you know, first and foremost, I think it needs mentioning there's the new MX7 GPS. And if you've never used a GPS sonar combo on the water, you'll be really impressed with the fact that, you know, in the Markham MX7, you can both find fish and catch them, right? It's a dual purpose unit. But the thing about the MX7 that makes it so special, in my opinion, is that, you know, Markham's really been the king of digital for years and years with its initial introduction to the LX7. And the real reason for that is real time. It was a real time sonar engine that you could drop, jig, see your lure, and react to it immediately. Everything was crisp, tight, in the moment, which is super important for ice fishing. You know, there's other sonar GPS combos on the market, but they're not necessarily tuned to ice specific. And Markham has always been about ice first and foremost. That's their jam. Markham does ice fishing and ice fishing only. And, you know, the MX7 in relation to that has a lot of features that make it ice specific, not just the real-time sonar deal, right? Because there's so many sonars that can just help you find fish. You're trying to look at your jig. You're trying to look at bait. You're trying to see if a minnow head fell off of your jigging spoon while you're jigging. All that stuff happens in real time on the Markham MX7. Now, you also have the patented interference rejection, which is super important, right? Because in ice fishing, it's not like open water fishing. Ice fishing, we're sitting 3 to a shack, or like in my Yeti here, we're fishing 5-6 guys in the thing at the same time. You need to have interference rejection as a big part of the system. And it's also super portable. Now, the MX7 comes with a lithium battery that's actually capable of powering it for a full day or even more on the ice. So that's super important to you guys out there ice fishing as well. And at the end of the day, that portability, the IR, the fact that it's equipped with a lithium battery, the fact that it's real time is really what makes the MX7 what it is and sets it apart from other sonar GPS combos on the market. All right, so we've covered the MX7. I want to get to a couple different new items from Markham, but I also want to introduce some of the things that I have behind me here on the shelf. And you can see I got a ton of cameras, right? I've got the camera blown up to the big screen. I've got small cameras. I've got big cameras, and I'm going to try and do my best to make it simple for you. If you're thinking about an underwater camera purchase, you know, value and price is always going to be a big part of the discussion. And, you know, value in my mind comes from a lot of the SD cameras, the standard definition cameras in the Markham lineup. And if you look, there's a couple different options there. There's the 485, and then there's also the Recon and the Recon 5 Plus. So you've got in the value-minded SD options a very portable, small form factor, easy, fits in your pocket. The 5, it comes just as you see it here. And then the 5 Plus has on-screen directions. So when you're trying to find your jig on screen, that 5 Plus, and even a standard definition unit, isn't just portable, but it helps you find your jig and really cuts down the time that you're messing with the camera. And then you've also got the 485, which is more similar to this unit in that it's larger. It's a sit and fish style unit. It's got the bigger screen for you. If that's your jam, that's a great option in standard definition.
You know, the nice thing, I got to jump in for 1 second.
Please do.
Joel, the big thing on that 485 is forever there was not a price point. That was where it was at for the quality. Right. And Markham has definitely knocked it out of the park. I mean, you look at the Vexilar Fish Gut was out there forever at $349, and Octaview 715s at $349. Nobody's been at $299 for a full screen setup like you're talking on that 45.
Yes.
That's a slam dunk if you want a good entry level unit.
Yeah.
It has a video jack as well to it for $299. We're not
Yeah.
even talking little reed special, Joel. We're just talking regular price $299.
Exactly. And you've got that full screen, which is so nice for so many anglers because they might not want to port it out to a fish house. They can put it on a big screen if they want, but they might just want this full screen to sit down and fish and enjoy it as it is.
Yeah, positively.
So that's the SD versions. Now you go to HD and we kick things up a notch, right? We've got a full HD image, and the Quest is really that sit and fish unit. That's that large screen one that I was talking about here. Comes with the full manta head. It has the on-screen direction as well, so you can find your jig really easily. If that's what you want to do, if you like this larger screen, remember with an HDMI cable, like I've got right here coming onto the back of the TV, I can just plug that in right to the back of the unit, and I can get a full HD out. Why that's important? In murky viewing conditions, when you're trying to see a small jig, when you're trying to see, like in a shack like this, a jig on the other end of the shack, HD out, HD to the full screen makes all the difference in the world. It makes the clarity better. It makes finding things easier and seeing fish off in the distance behind your jig that much better. And that doesn't just exist in the Quest, it exists in the brand new Pursuit HD as well. So that's what I've currently got hooked up to the big screen. And that's really the best of everything, right? We've got portability, small form factor, right? And with this dongle that's supplied, it's just a small little plug. I can plug an HD cord right into the back of my TV. And, you know, really all the other features involved. There's a cable reel on the back for cord management. There's just a lot of nice options when you get to that HD side of things and you're starting to talk about portability, form factor for the price, plus being able to put it up to the big screen. It's a hit.
Yeah, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, but I believe you have depth, direction, and temp basically on that with 75 feet of cable, correct?
Yeah, there's really nothing in the Markham suite of underwater viewing technologies that isn't in that system. I mean, it's the creme de la creme. It's brand new this year, and it's already been a hit from everywhere I've been seeing all the message boards and things like that. It's
I think the one thing too, Joel, that I know you touched on being portability and everything else, but I think, you know, one of the biggest things that I see with Markham and people and cameras, now if it's the 485, the Mission, the Quest, the Recon, the Pursuit,
Yep.
everything they've done, they've designed this camera or all these cameras basically be compact and fold down. Everything fits in a nice case.
Right.
Screen folds down on the bigger cameras. Cover
Yes.
goes over the top. I mean, you know, obviously the Recons and everything else are small and compact as well, but you know, just the portability and everything being compact and clean and neat with them is probably one of the biggest things I think with Markham too. So
Right. And yeah, it's a great point because Markham, like we said earlier, it's an ice fishing first company. And if things are going to survive on ice, they can't have pieces dangling off and not fold into themselves well. Things get cold and they just get destroyed. They get ripped off. So like with this Quest, it's super easy to just push it in, fold that screen down, and then pop that cover over, and it just folds up like a lunchbox. It fits just about anywhere. So you're dead on there. That's a great observation.
Hey, Joel, you know, the other fun thing that we've been doing with these Zooms, and you're one of the best hosts on the market to make this happen, is we try to make a show feel and vibe. So we can't, you know, publicize the deals. We can't go visit a show booth. So these Zooms that you're helping us make happen, we, number one, appreciate your time, and number two, appreciate all the listeners too. So one of the things we've been doing for the last couple of Zooms, and Joel, I think between you and John Marshall, I think we can get the AOK to talk about this, would be use coupon code ICE2020 at checkout. And it doesn't really matter what the model of Markham is until December 20th, which is this Sunday at midnight. There's going to be a hidden price that even the guys at Versa can't yell at me about because it's not exposed to the public, but we can talk about it, Joel. I think we're okay doing it. We just can't say what the deal is. So the key is you put ICE 2020 in your cart at checkout, and you might save yourself a buck or two in the next 4 days. So I don't think we should go any further than that. Do you, Joel, or should we stop there?
Oh, well, I love it. Nobody incentivizes it like you guys. And whether we've been working at the ice show all these years or whether we're doing it online right here, man, you make it happen. And I love that. Everybody, make sure when you put things into your cart, type in that ICE 2020. You might be surprised at how much you save, right?
At checkout is where you get the great deal. But I think you're spot on. You know, the MX7s, it's hidden right now. Guys are just getting on the water, as we all know, with Red and the guys out in North Dakota, a little bit of Wisconsin, from we're hearing. Here on Leech, the traffic isn't perfect yet.
Right.
We've got a little bit of ice, so we got to give another week or two. But once that MX7 gets out, we'll get some more content going, let some users get on the water and see it, because really it's going to give the Helix and the old Garmin a run for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I have used it last year, and I've been using it already this year. I've been to Red. I fished some Bemidji lakes. I was in western Wisconsin this past weekend. And the one thing I'll tell you about it, above and beyond the fact that it has a GPS, right, which everybody's excited about, it is the crispest, clearest, tightest, finest display that Marcum's ever put out. You see that wide screen and how it relates to the LX7. It's like an LX7 HD version. So above and beyond all the other features that are built into it, it's a super powerful, ultra crisp unit that when you see it on the ice, you'll be really impressed with it. So
talk a little bit, Joel, about on the GPS side. I know everybody's a little curious on the mapping.
Yes.
And what can fit in the mapping, what maps can go in there, what's already in there. But I think that's one big thing right now. I think a lot of people are kind of interested in trying to figure out what to do with it.
It's a great point. You know, Navionics has always been a leader in mapping and mapping technology. And Navionics cards, the micro SDs, can plug and play right into the side of this thing. It's just a simple little flap that opens. You push that sucker in. The nice part about the Navionics stuff, getting the freshest data, you basically subscribe, you pull down whatever portions of the US you want to be fishing, plug it onto that chip, push it in there, and you can update it at any point that you need updates and fresh data. That's what Navionics is all about. And it's one of the reasons they're the preferred partner when it goes into that MX7. But I need to talk about batteries, Corey. I can't forget to do that. Right next to me here is this Markham Brute. There's a whole lineup of batteries. There are 4 batteries in the Markham lineup. And I have this Brute here. It's unbelievable how light these things are. If you haven't had a chance to pick these up, they're unreal. And the reason I have the Brute to highlight is because you guys are running a sale on that right now. Isn't there a special going on?
You're spot on. The Brute is normally at $99 pretty much everywhere in the country. And they actually do the complete kits. It's a new item. Markham's the first to do it, because it's always been a Dakota. And Dakota's a great product, don't get me wrong. But this is the first kit that's came out. It's a $99 deal. So those guys and gals on the Zoom were doing it for $69, $69.99, which is dirt cheap. And that would be a call-in deal. So I don't think we have that set up on the web.
Correct. Yep.
So if you'd like one, you can definitely give us a jingle today yet or tomorrow too. But yeah, but you're spot on, Joel. At $69. I mean,
it's unreal. 69. It's a $100 battery all day. And the reason the kit's important that Drew brought up is because the kit comes with a charger, not just any charger, right? You can charge these things with a standard sealed lead acid battery charger, but I don't know why you would. You won't get the performance out of it. It won't rapid charge. It won't fill it up all the way to the top. So the Markham charger that comes with it satisfies all those problems. You get the kit, you get the charger that's paired for this lithium LifePo4 technology, and you've got something that's going to get it all the way full, charge quickly, and be ready to go. So the battery's real quick. The one that's a little smaller than this is the Mite. That battery is a 12 volt 7 amp. This Brute's 12 volt 10 amp. But 7 amp is what all of the Markhams have run on forever. Corey, that sucker is going to jump out of your hand. It's so light. It's a pound.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's like I got a tennis ball in my hand. I mean, it might even be lighter than a tennis ball.
So at 1 pound, just a little over 1 pound, that battery is the same form factor, same size. It's a direct replacement to any 12 volt, 7 to 10 amp hour battery you'd put in any unit, not just Markham's, but Vexilar, Hummingbirds, forwards and backwards. Now, when you step up to the 10 amp battery, you get up to Lithium LifePo4 technology. And there's 2 above that, the Markham King, which is 12 volt 18 amps. That one fits perfectly inside like a Garmin Live Scope or the Garmin Panoptix units. Is a great power plant to power so many different things on ice. And then there's the Big Daddy, which is the Max. The Max is unreal. So if you're the kind of person that is on ice camping, if you got lights hooked up everywhere, if you've got every doodad under the sun connected, that Max is where it's at. And again, these come with kits. These come with the appropriate charger for the battery, and that's super, super important. So
that's awesome. Hey, Joel, we had one question from one of the viewers. Does the GPS MX7 come preloaded, or do you need the chip? And I think we sort of hit that, because can you talk about the base maps a little bit on that?
Right. So the base maps, it comes with the very most basic base maps, but you're going to want, if you're an angler that's serious about hitting a lot of different water bodies, you're going to want to take advantage of that nav chip unit. And I think it's really important to note that even though you do have to buy a chip, uh, you know, so many other units out there do too. The big difference, we were talking lithium earlier, the MX7 comes with a lithium battery packaged in, already equipped. So that's one thing you don't have to buy for the MX7 is that lithium battery. And I want to point out, it's super important. Lithium batteries now come equipped with the Markham 3L, the Markham 5L, the LX7, the MX7, the LX9. All of these Markham units that you've come to know and love, they come with a $100 battery already packaged inside there without raising the cost at all. In fact, most of the units have dropped in price. And then you guys use that ICE 2020 code. I mean, there's a lot to be saved.
Yeah, we can definitely save some money. And yes, we do have all the chips in stock.
Cool.
Markham Moose, any of the other brands, we've got them all in stock for sure.
Yep, Navionics too offers a few different types of chips, as far as regional chips, as far as U.S. and Canada chips, Canada and Alaska. You can preload some of your chips, so there are numerous options out there on the Navionics side that will work on the MX7. So.
Hey Corey, and that's why you guys are so great. If you guys have questions, call and ask. Right? Yep, you guys will get people set up. If you're unsure which nav chip to get, Corey's the man, Drew's the man. They can help you get what you need, so you're not overbuying, but you are getting more than what you would have gotten basically otherwise, and have to purchase it later anyway. So go ahead and make a call, right?
Yeah, positively. And the fun thing too, Joel, we've tried to build the Reed's customer experience even better. And so literally 7 days a week right now, we have 4 to 6 people dedicated to talking to you live, talking about the ICE coupon codes, giving you deals, asking and helping with our expertise and our advice to make these buying decisions, you know, exactly what a guy or gal needs, whether you're the first time out there or a guy who's got the best Yeti fish house in the market, what he needs, what she needs, we can help with. So we're trying to make sure we have a dedicated team of which, yes, Corey and I are part of it. There's 7 other aces. Like tomorrow you get a Kemp and you got a Nelson involved and some other aces too. But the fun thing is we're trying to mix it up so everybody can help more customers with the Reed's experience that we're trying to deliver on the retail floor as well.
I love it. You know, that's what I've always come to know and love. Like I said, many years worked with you guys down on the ice show floor. If there's a question, it's somebody in that booth's got it. That's just the way it's always been.
We'll definitely figure it out. Hey, before we wrap up, I just want to cover 2 more things. Number 1 is that ICE 2020 code. So everybody on the Zoom, use it. It's there. It's set up. You'll see some savings when you go to check out. And then number 2 is, you know, if there's a message or if you guys want to chat about something right now, we sure can help. You've got a great expert, Joel, helping us host. And Joel, we appreciate it. Yep. And the other guy that's hidden on here right now, you see his name. His name is John Marshall. And he is he's one of the engineers behind this amazing product called Marcum. So if there's any questions that you guys have on the Zoom call that Corey or I or Joel or John can ask, we're here to help as much as we can. So if you don't want to talk about it, chat about it, we'll do our best to answer here in the next minute or 2.
While they're thinking up questions and while we're kind of compiling those, one thing I need to mention, and it's super important, the M3L and the M5L, which are flagship sonar units in their own right, now come with a $50 rebate. So you start stacking deals, right? At Reed's, you put that thing in your cart, you use the ICE 2020 code, you get the $50 rebate. That thing's only good till the end of December. So make use of that. Plus, that's for the M3L and the M5L. Remember the L at the end? It comes with that $100 lithium battery. So you really want to stack your savings. Those are 2 great units to do it with too.
So Mr. Nelson, just so I understand this, you're saying you get the Reed's discount and now you're giving them a rebate still through the end of the year?
Yeah, John's the money man. He's in the background. I see there's some grimacing going on, maybe some wrinkles in his forehead. I don't know, but yeah, that's the gig right now up till 12:30. So that's the deal.
Perfect. Hey, John, is there anything we missed that we should be covering right now so these viewers can, you know, hear some wisdom from you, the legend, Mr. John Marshall?
I think you guys did a really good job at covering everything. And one thing that I know you guys are doing is no camera purchase is complete without a camera panner or a steering device. I think you guys have a deal going on right now where any camera purchase comes with a automatic camera panner.
That's spot on.
We make 2 of them. One is a wired version. That's what you're giving away. And then we make a wireless version of that as well. This early season type of stuff where you can get out and find that defined edge of a weed line is where cameras really come in handy. And I think we're going to see a lot of people. You've seen it, Drew. We've all experienced it. Is that there's a tremendous increase in participation this year. We're going to see the lakes fill up quite plump, I think, this weekend with the weather that we've had. And whether you're using it for scouting, using it to watch, this really is the 20th anniversary of underwater viewing.
That's fantastic stuff.
Underwater cameras have been on the market now for 20 years, and there's a generation of anglers that didn't have to learn through trial and error the way that, you know, a lot of us growing up did. You get to see that real-time response. You get to see how it interacts. You can watch your flasher and your camera at the same time and really get fine-tuned with both of them. So
yeah, you look at the history of where Aquaview, Mr. Jeff Zernoff and that team started this legend, and now we're Versus together. I mean, yeah, you're spot on. It's got leaps and bounds. Hey,
Yeah.
Mr. Marshall, talk about life expectancy of a internal battery in the shuttle, number one, and number two is how do we replace that if it does have an issue? Is one of the questions.
Sure. One of the big, I think Corey lifted the mite battery. That's a lithium ion technology. Lithium ion is the lightest of lithium chemistries. And in the other batteries, we have LiFePO4s. In the lithium chemistry, unlike sealed lead acid batteries, I kind of call them, sealed lead acid batteries are kind of like the armpit of power, right? They serve a purpose, but sometimes they stink. So the big benefit of lithium is it has less memory. So you basically get unlimited charge cycles. So like on a LiFePO4 battery, you get 2,000 charge cycles. Joel talked about the advantages of them being lighter weight and extended run times, but the cost of ownership compared to a sealed lead acid battery that may only last you 2 years is substantially better with a lithium LiFePO battery that may last you 4 years. Now, the lithium ion chemistry is slightly different, doesn't have as many recharge cycles, but comes with the benefit of the lighter weight. If you ever have the need to replace a lithium shuttle battery, that's an internal part. So that's something you got to call Markham directly for, and they've got an upgrade procedure to put a new battery in that for you.
Yeah, I think, you know, this year with all the lithium stuff out there, it's going to be a game changer as far as, you know, weight on a lot of these kits and everything else. I mean, there's some really, really neat stuff with lithium this year. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, lithium has changed the way we fish. It's in our augers. It's in our fish finders. It makes things lighter. You charge faster. You run longer. You almost forget to charge these units over a long weekend. You do it when you get back home. So, you know, if you're not using lithium, if you don't have a lithium battery, you haven't made that jump. Just like John said, in the long run, it's cheaper by a lot. You spend the capital up front or you pay for it on the backside. You do it up front. You get to enjoy that lightweight, that long duration, quick charges, all of those things right away instead of waiting.
Spot on. So I think that was a good recap. Joel, you did an awesome job going through all the cameras. We appreciate that. And filling us all in on the MX7, the newest, hottest thing really to hit in the last, I'm going to say 2 years, because 3 years ago, the Panoptic came out. Great. And batteries is where it's at, as we all know. So, but, you know, Joel, hit it one more time. Ice 2020.
Yep.
Get a deal, enter that at checkout, and you'll see some fantastic savings coming your way. So if there's nothing else, Mr. Nelson, we appreciate your time. Been a great co-host with us. Mr. Marshall, thanks for jumping in as well. Mr. Brock, thanks for making this happen. And again, as Corey said, call us anytime, 7 days a week, 800-346-0019. We'll give you Joel Nelson's cell phone personally. Track him down on the ice. But yeah, folks, anglers out there, give us a call. Glad to help. And Mr. Nelson, good luck on that ice. Hopefully see you in the shop.
Hey, you two guys, thanks so much for hosting this.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Have a good evening.